Bro, you're making me sick right now. I'm having to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to buy real estate.
Grant, this is not just legal, this is taught in
Yeah,
real
and
estate.
nobody really knows this. I mean, I'm sitting here, I didn't know it, and I thought I knew a little something.
Oh, no, it's the most powerful tool in real estate.
Dude, I'm gonna stay up tonight, man. How many years have y'all shot the show now?
3 years.
3.
We're in a 6-year contract, but this is our 3rd year.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And your
good.
guy, Brad, is it Brad?
Brad, yeah, he's been talking to you.
Yeah.
I just saw him yesterday.
Yeah, he kind of got it, like, seemed like it got a little complicated. I thought he just wanted to buy the show. Then they start talking about it being a different way. I said, that's why I don't want to do anything with you guys.
They complicate everything.
Yeah, dude, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, just take the goddamn thing the way it is, you know?
Yeah.
See how it does.
What's going on with it right now? Are you guys still
I
talking?
think we're probably dead. Roku made me an offer, and then who else? Warner Brothers did. Warner Brothers made us a great offer.
Damn.
Warner Brothers made such a good offer.
For which one of the
I don't
shows?
even believe this. For Real Estate King, for Love or for Money, and what was the other show? We have 2 more shows. How to Get Rich in America, a documentary.
They want all of them.
They'll take everything I got.
Wow.
And I don't know if they'll take the family show.
What's the downfall with going to Warner Brothers versus Roku?
I mean, I don't know if I trust the deal. So I don't understand.
That's the problem with us is that you get locked in season 1. They go, yeah, we'll let you do what you want, and then you get in your
Yeah.
contract, and they start getting their claws in you, and they change everything the way they want.
But we would just give them the product, though.
Okay, so you deliver the product, it's done.
I pay for it. I
You
fund
produce it, and they just cut a check.
Yeah.
So you're your own production company.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I wish I wish I knew enough that that's the route we went.
Yeah.
But you have a much larger
And
brand.
then we went from shooting a show that took, we're rolling right now, right, guys? We went from shooting a show that took, I want all that, okay? From shooting a show that would normally take them 3 weeks to 2.5 days. And I'm trying to get it shot in a day and a half. I think I can.
Our show took 10 months. Season 2 took 10 months to film.
Insane, bro.
Yeah, it's insane.
So we shot 10 segments. 10 cities. Went to 10 different places and did them in 28 days.
What's your favorite show to film right now?
The ones that are easy. Like, I don't want
For Love or Money?
No, For Love or for Money won't even be me. I'll produce it, and there'll be another guy that does it, and we can do For Love or for Money in every city. So it'll be For Love or for Money in Atlanta, Boston. So where it's where Johnny finds a house he likes, but the girlfriend. You know the story?
Yep.
Yeah. Didn't we pitch it to you?
No, you guys pitched it to us. We were out of town, so you ended up having Sperber on the show.
Yeah. So they like that one. I don't think they really care. I think they just need content that's affordable to them that doesn't put them out.
The other thing too is there's a writer strike right now that's happening, and anything that's you guys will handle, and they don't have to go through a writer, they don't have to go through any of that kind of stuff. Man, you guys will get paid well.
Yeah, I hope so. All right. Well, look, I'm really excited about having you here. The way for me to find out about other markets is to have the guys that know the market with me. So I know you're focused on what right now?
Well,
in addition to being a movie star, TV star.
Yeah, so when I first started, I was in single family primarily. A lot of what Jamil damned you on the show as well.
Yeah.
Started in wholesale, great way to get into the game. And then I started jumping into actually holding property because I was like, man, I'm getting taxed at 40%
Right.
I might go get a $20,000 wholesale deal, but I'm going to pay $8,000 in taxes.
Yeah, so it's really 12.
It's really 12, right? So I started buying and buying and buying.
Yeah.
And
buying what?
Single family.
Okay.
And I primarily focused on what people know me for is I acquire existing debt. So I'm not using my credit. I'm not using any credentials. I'm not leveraging banks. I'm not doing any of that stuff. And then I started getting really heavy into SellerFinance and then realizing that B class, C class, multifamily is like the sweet spot for that. And so the last 2 years I've been focusing primarily on that.
Yeah, so let's talk about that because that's a sector that I don't do anything of, never have. I've known it was there. This is going to be probably an older seller.
Yep, older seller. They're retiring. So what we'll do is we'll go on a company called PropStream. Okay,
PropStream.
Go to PropStream. It's a website that just has really great data. Go filter something that says they've owned the property for over 30 years. Right, so it's obviously not A class, which is what you focus on.
Right.
And I'm looking for a tired landlord.
Yeah.
Somebody who's mismanaged the property. Sometimes
or he's managed it He's
but
managed it based on his price point.
Right.
Because he entered it. He could have paid nothing for this thing, virtually.
Yeah. One of my best deals I did was it was a 43 unit deal. Seller bought it for $1 million.
Yeah.
Held on to it for whatever amount of years. Wanted to get out of it at $4 million. He's like, but I don't want to pay capital gains all at one time.
Right.
So that's the cool thing about seller finance. He seller finances it to me at $4 million, no agent fees. I paid the closing costs. He seller financed $4 million, $0 down, because he knew I had to put some money into renovations.
Right. That was the money down in his mind.
Well, he says, well, you got to put money down. I said, well, Mario, I'll put money down, but I'm going to put it in escrow, and it's going to go into construction.
Yeah, beautiful.
And he goes, all right, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. He just wanted to see the commitment.
But he gave me 4% interest, fixed, 50-year note. 50-year note. Well, here's the craziest thing about this.
Wow, dude.
Well, this is what's great about seller finance is I can negotiate.
Because he wants the income.
He doesn't want the income, Grant. He wants his son to have the income.
Got it. So let's just back this up so everybody understands what he just did, okay? Because this is the formula right here. This is a seller that wants out, that you call him a tired
landlord.
Tired landlord. He's done with picking up the checks and handling the toilet calls, etc.
Right.
And his cost basis is virtually zero. He bought it 20 to 30 years ago.
Right.
Because it can't be a guy that bought it 10 years ago. And then 3, the guy doesn't really want the score. He wants the income either for himself or a family member.
Right. And he's worried about if I sell it right now on the market and I get a chunk of cash, I'm going to have a tax implication.
Right.
And I'm going to have, I have to 1031.
Right.
And if I 1031,
puts me in another deal.
I'm not retired anymore.
Right.
So he's like, I'll be the bank.
And on the tax implication, when you're approaching a seller, you're looking at a $4 million. If he bought it 30 years ago, he's paying taxes on the entire $4 million.
He's paying taxes on the entire $4 million because he's also got depreciation recapture and some other things. Yeah.
Could he be paying taxes on more than $4 million?
No.
No, it gets to zero.
Right.
It doesn't go below that.
No.
Okay.
So here's how I structured that deal. So the seller had the property on the market. Couldn't sell it through a real estate agent because the seller says, look, I don't need the money. I just want to get out of the deal.
Right.
And so if I'm going to go put it on the market, I want to get this specific number.
Typically, he's going to be a little unreasonable on price.
He's going to be unreasonable.
Right. But not 50 years from now.
Right. And so he says, I want this price. Broker takes the deal, puts it on the market, gets lowballed $500,000, $700,000.
Yeah.
Seller says no to every single offer.
Yeah, he's tired. Now he's a tired seller.
Now he's a tired seller and a tired landlord.
Right.
So it goes expired listing, which is public data. We call, somebody on my team calls and says, hey, looks like you couldn't get the number you wanted on the market. What were you looking for?
Yeah.
He says, I'm looking for $3 million, let's say.
Yeah.
He said, we go, okay, well, we can get you that number, but you got to give us terms.
Yeah.
And the seller's name is Mario. Mario goes, okay, I'll give you terms. I want 20% down and 8% interest with a 5-year balloon. And we go, dude, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
If you want us to give you the number you want, you got to give us.
But it'd be cool if you did.
Yeah. So he says, well, come meet me at the property. You've never seen the asset. So I actually travel out there. It's in Texas. I travel out there. I meet him. And this is how I structured the deal. He pulls up to the property, has a 12-year-old son in the back of his truck with him. Son doesn't want to get out. And I'm like, do you guys live here in Texas? And he goes, we're a 3-hour drive away. I'm like, your son didn't want to get out of the car and stretch his legs? He's like, he hates this property.
He hates it.
Your 12-year-old son hates the property?
Which means he hates it.
He says to me, let me put it this way. My 11-year-old son, when he was 11, he asked on his birthday, told his mom, could you just tell Dad to love me as much as he loves his tenants?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Then he turns 12.
Wow.
And on his 12th birthday, he says, can you tell Dad just to spend time with me like he spends time with his tenants? So the seller's like, all right, I'm repairing the toilets, switching out the ceiling fans. I'm doing all this stuff myself. Right. I got to sell this damn asset.
Yeah.
So
spend more time with my kid.
Right. I want to spend time with my kid. So I go to Mario and I go, I'll give you a monthly payment. And he goes, okay, but I want a 5-year balloon. Mm-hmm. I said, Mario, here's the thing, man. You got your 12-year-old son. He hates this property. He has resentment towards you. How about we turn this deal into the greatest thing for your son?
Wow.
And I said, imagine where will you be when your son's 62 years old? He says, I'll be dead.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, but you'll be in his mind every month when he gets an $11,000 check from Pace when he's 62 years old. And we can turn this property into a memory that you set up every single month. And he was like, done. And so it wasn't about the numbers.
Yeah,
it was about
exactly.
the emotions. It was about all the other things.
So 50 years, he gets 11 grand a month,
11 grand.
600 months.
That asset
so he's
brings
going to get 6.6 million, not 4 million or 3 million.
Yeah, because he got the 4% interest on it. Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys broke that down, what he did, but he basically took a guy that wanted too much money for his property. That's why it didn't sell.
Right.
I would expect. And then figured out how to give him more money just over time.
Right.
Without you giving him any money.
I gave him no money up front.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah. I paid closing costs, which were $5 grand.
Well, dude, the return on that's better than Bitcoin.
Well, here's what's great.
I mean,
I write it off my first year. So $4 million last year. I do a cost seg on the deal.
How'd you do that? You don't own it.
Yes, I do.
How do you own it?
We write a promissory note. He's the seller. He owns it free and clear. He turns in the bank. I write a promissory note. Now
then he had to pay taxes.
No, because he didn't. You only pay taxes on stuff you receive. He didn't. He hasn't received the money yet. He receives the money over a long period of time.
Oh, I thought. No, huh?
No, in a seller finance situation, you can set it up where he only gets paid every time he actually receives the payment.
He only pays taxes on the portions he received money on.
Right. Let's imagine this. Let's say that
I thought, so why wouldn't, I didn't know that, dude.
Yeah. Think about this. If he sold it to me on seller finance at $4 million, okay, and he got taxed at the $4 million,
he'd owe at least $1 million.
Right. And he hasn't received any money.
He hadn't received any money.
And what if I default in 6 months?
Yeah. So
he's got to go back to the IRS and say, hey, we got to unravel this deal.
Yeah. So why? So why do a master lease then? Everything would be owner finance.
I don't do master leases. I wouldn't touch a master lease. I owner finance everything. People that do master leases doesn't make sense for me.
Why does it make sense for anybody?
They just don't know how to negotiate seller finance. That's it. People that are doing lease options or acquiring on lease options or master leases just don't understand how to negotiate a seller finance.
Yeah, that's interesting because I was just talking about a master lease literally 3 days ago.
Yeah,
and I didn't know. I thought, and shame on me, I didn't look into it. That if I did an owner finance, I was having to pay taxes
the day you sell it.
Yeah.
No, you pay taxes on money you receive, not money that is on fake paper.
Yeah, interesting.
So he's selling.
But if I finance externally, well, I received all my funds.
Right.
Yeah.
So he seller finances to me.
Yeah.
Here's the economics of the deal. It was a $3 million deal, not $4 million.
Yeah.
So he bought it for $1 million, sold it to me for $3 million. I have no money out of pocket on the deal. He already has the tenants in the property, and the property brings in about $38,000 a month currently. I have a payment to him. He's the bank, principal and interest for $11 grand a month. Okay. I have taxes and insurance on top of that, right? And then I've got on-site management. I got blah, 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 blah. My net on that deal is about $12 grand a month.
Jesus, man. $144,000 a year.
No money out of pocket.
With no dough.
Okay. Property, you guys can go pull that up on my YouTube channel. It's a great deal. I actually interview the seller. His name's Mario. And he gives me 19 reasons why it was better for him to sell on seller finance than it was to sell on cash.
Dude, and he's a marketing arm for you. So that's...
Oh, he's phenomenal. I mean, that's why I bring Eric everywhere I go, because it's like, hey, the seller's giving us a great testimony. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So that was a good deal.
So how many times can you do that?
Infinite.
Yeah.
And while
so this would be good. This would be good to do this in this market where price
right now,
where you have this sellers waiting for buyers and buyers are waiting for sellers to make adjustments. This would be a good time. But again, you got to go back to that older product.
You got to go to older product. I haven't seen A-class stuff doing this, right? Well, and so that's where I'm focusing is on B and C. And my biggest deal that I've done, seller finance, is 256 units in Illinois.
That's huge.
Great deal. A $20 million deal on seller finance was great. Another deal, very similar, similar terms, no money out of pocket. That deal nets me $45,000, $50,000 a month net. After
I need to start doing your deals, man.
They're great deals. They're great deals.
That's insane.
Some of them are too small for you at where you're at.
Well, no, 256. Well, because most of them are what, 20 units?
Most of them 30? Are 50 to 100 units. You know, because these are unrepresented buyers or sellers. Brokers are not going to really waste their time with these guys that are wanting a little bit too much money. Unreasonable. Yeah. But the sellers are willing to go, I'll give you 4% interest as a bank. I'll be the bank. I'll give you 4% interest, 3% interest with $100,000 down. So here's the other thing we do, Grant, as well, is we on the seller finance, on the single family side. Think about all the people that acquired their houses back in 2018, 19, 20, and 21. They've got 3% interest, 2% interest. I'm just taking over those existing loans.
Yeah. Is that legal with the bank?
Yeah. All 50 states.
It's Fannie Mae. Let's say it's a Fannie Mae loan.
All Fannie Mae loans, all 50 states.
I can assume it.
They're not assumptions. An assumption would require me to go and apply for the bank.
Right.
All I'm doing is I'm going to the seller and I'm saying, hey, that payment that you're falling behind on, you're in foreclosure or whatever else, I'll catch up your arrears, get you back into good standing. We'll go to a title company. Title company is going to transfer the deed into my name, but the mortgage stays in your name. I never applied for anything. It's called subject to. It's been done for 100 years.
Why would the bank let me do that?
The bank doesn't have any involvement at all.
What?
This is being done for 100 years.
I know, but who owns that?
I do. The deed goes into my name.
No, the bank owns that deal.
No, they don't. There's a mortgage and there's a deed. They have nothing to do with each other. Think about this. When you go into a grocery store and you go buy a bag of groceries and you used your credit card to buy those bag of groceries, that's not your money, right? You use a credit card.
It's a promise to pay.
Same as a mortgage. Okay? But when I check out and I get those groceries, if I use a credit card's money to buy those groceries, who owns the groceries?
Yeah, you do.
Why?
I
have a promise to pay, which is a mortgage or a credit card statement.
Yeah.
I have the receipt, which is the deed. So the person who has the receipt of real estate, which is the deed, is the person who owns the real estate, not who has the debt.
Yeah, goddamn, dude, I've already learned two things, man.
The debt has nothing to do with ownership.
Yeah.
It's like your mom could go and co-sign for a car for you, but you're the owner, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean she's the owner. She just co-signed.
She agreed to co-sign for me. In this case, the seller and Wells Fargo
the seller has co-signed
didn't know
for me.
about you.
The seller has co-signed. Yeah, it's called the due on sale clause.
The what?
The due on sale clause.
Due
on sale clause. It means every mortgage that's written in the United States has a clause inside of it that says, if the bank finds out that I have taken this debt and we've transferred the deed and the debt was not paid off in the transfer, the bank can, doesn't mean they're obligated to, the bank can call it due and say, oh, hey, we saw you guys transferred. You guys didn't pay off the debt.
So the bank could step in.
The bank could step in.
Yeah.
And they have to go through a judicial foreclosure
And that could
process.
be what, 24 months, couple years?
Yeah, a couple years.
Settle out?
A couple years, yeah.
They don't really want to do that because the other guy's gone.
What department?
But you haven't done anything illegal, is what you're saying.
Every single. Here's
Have you ever had one called? Have you ever
had 5 called.
Due for sale? What's it called?
Due on sale.
Due on sale.
I've had
You've
5
had 5
calls.
calls.
Yep.
What do they say? How does it go?
So great question. So
Thank you, man. I'm setting you up.
This is great.
We ought to do a TV show, man.
Yeah, we should do a TV show. So I had a deal on Lost Dutchman is the name of the street. Sellers in foreclosure. So that's
already late.
It's a pain point for us, right? So our team knows pain point. We're going to call that seller. Call the seller. Hey, you're behind on your payments. What's going on? He goes, I got divorced. My wife moved out. Blah. There's my pain point, right?
Yeah.
And we go, well, we can catch up your payments, get you a couple $1,000, and get you on your way. We'll just take over the payments and deed the property over to us. It's called subject to. You down for that? He goes, yeah, let's do it. So we catch up.
So now you're going to make up the 3 payments.
Yeah.
You don't need approval from the bank.
Nope.
You're going to give him a couple grand in his hand. And he's walking away because he's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just walking through this. The bank's probably like, yeah, that was a good solution. Don't even tell us it happened.
The bank doesn't know it happens, but I'll tell you how they found out on this one.
Yeah.
So this is Thursday. The guy, we catch up his 3 payments on Thursday, close escrow on Friday, so deed transfers on Friday.
And the bank doesn't have to be involved in this escrow?
No.
Why not?
Grant, this is happening.
How can the bank not be involved, dude? There's debt.
They are not involved in the slightest. Not in the slightest. There's no physical involvement from the bank. Those are 2 separate documents, the mortgage and the deed. I can transfer a deed all I want all day long, and the bank doesn't have to know about it, see it, do anything with it. Okay? Is it illegal? No. Go to the IRS's website. There's 12 pages on how to handle, if you're the seller selling on subject to, and if you're the buyer buying on subject to, the IRS tells you how to do it properly. Fannie Mae's guidelines tells you how to do it properly.
Dude, amazing, bro.
Yeah, the VA handbook shows you how to do it all properly. It's insured by title.
So there's a way. That means there's a way to do to mess it up.
There's a way to mess up every transaction.
Yeah. Okay. So when the bank called you, what did they say?
So bank calls it. The bank
It's amazing, man. By the way, I didn't know we were going to undo this. I mean, we might want to unpack this one. And
Yeah, this is great. So bank, they don't call you. They send a letter, right? It's a whole long process. Send you a letter and they go, hey, we noticed you sold the house, or the seller sold the house to you, and you didn't pay off the loan.
Yeah.
So we're calling the loan due. And the loan, they can't call the loan due and go, give us the
Give
check.
him money more.
They got to take us to foreclosure. Okay. And so we call the bank up and go, hey, dude, we caught up this guy's payments. What do you guys want us to do? We end up calling and getting a hold of somebody who's a decision maker at the bank. And they go, oh yeah, no problem. We have a lot of people that buy houses subject to. Why are you calling the loan due then? What if you have you don't have a problem? It goes, oh, it's just bank policy. But here's what you should have done in the process. You should have just acquired it, and this is going to get in the weeds a little bit. You should have acquired it on a lease option.
and that's what I was referring to earlier with the.
You should have purchased it on a lease option where the option price is the existing mortgage balance the day you close or you decide to execute your option. Does that make sense? So let's say I buy it today.
You do a lease option,
and the option
the day
price,
you close is the mortgage amount, $104,000, whatever the mortgage total is.
Let's say that I buy the property today on a lease option,
Yeah.
$200,000.
Yeah, okay.
Every payment I make towards that lease option is actually paying down the mortgage. I don't decide to execute my lease option for 10 years. That means the mortgage balance has gone down for 10 years. I get to execute at the existing mortgage balance. It's the same. It's the same thing. It's just we didn't transfer the deed, and so I go to the bank.
Yeah. So why wouldn't you do it like that?
Because I can't get tax benefits when I do it that way.
Right. That's because there hasn't been a sale.
Right. If I
you want to be able to write that, and that's how we got in this conversation.
Right.
I'm like, how are you taking depreciation if you don't own the asset?
I want the deed in my name, and if I buy on a lease option, I don't get the deed in my name.
Got it.
And with the IRS will not let you claim depreciation if you don't have what's called fee title. Fee title means.
Well, how did you get the title?
On a lease option, you don't get the title.
No, but do you own the transfer of the deed?
No. In a lease option, you don't.
No, on the purchase the other way.
Yeah, the other way, yes. You get.
I thought the bank would have title.
No.
Man, there's something I'm missing, man.
No, the bank doesn't have title.
There's something I've been assuming that's been wrong for 35 years.
Yeah, so let's say you go to a homeowner.
And you're more convinced than I am that you're right, so I'm going to go ahead.
Well, I own a title company.
Surrender.
I watch this happen all the time.
Okay,
multifamily, single family, whatever it is. Even what you're thinking about is a car. Okay, you're in the car business. In the car business, when you go and give a buyer a loan, the bank holds the title.
Right.
Not in real estate. In real estate, the owner of the property that lives in the property, the deed is in their name the day they close escrow on it, even if the debt is being held by the bank.
The deed and the title. Explain the difference. The deed. I can't believe how little I know about real estate.
Oh, this is great. Okay, so the deed is who owns the real estate. The title is how they hold that real estate.
Okay.
So title would be like
could be my full name or an LLC. Or,
tenants in common, LLC. Right. That's title. Deed is who that is. So when people say, "Oh, I have title," it's like, well, it's the same thing. They're using the words kind of synonymously.
Yeah.
Deed is really the word that you want to use.
Yeah. Now, so the bank, I can transfer this deed or title. The deed probably is a better word.
Yeah.
Without permission of the bank.
Why would I need the bank's permission?
Dude, man, that's crazy, bro.
That's a better way to ask it. Why do I need the bank's permission?
Because there's a mortgage on it? Because the mortgage could very well be more than the value of the... So now this opens you up to all kind of stuff. Like this opens you up to...
This is why right now in 2023 and 2024...
Yeah, all those 2.5% money, you want to go grab as much of that shit as you can.
We just closed...
I got a buddy who's got a 30-year loan, bro, with 2.8%.
Let me show you. I just bought a beachfront property in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Took over a 2% mortgage. Here's the thing. I'll probably touch between 300 and 500 deals on single family that I put in the portfolio this year. No credit check, no credentials. Nobody asks for my tax returns. Nobody looks for my bank statements. No, nothing. Literally nothing is being asked of me. Nothing. Okay. All I'm doing is and there's two sweet spots to get these deals: foreclosures and expired listings. Okay, how many expired listings are happening right now where sellers are going to agents and going to sell my house, and the buyer can't buy the house because they're getting 8% interest. Yeah. So what happens is after 6 months of the agent not being able to sell, my team calls and goes, "Hey, Can we just take over the payments on this house?
Yeah, then why wait? Why wait until then? Why wait till it's I mean, you got plenty of room to keep the broker in.
Okay, so we call the broker. That's the problem. We call the agent, we go, hey, man, we could talk about this for hours. This is great.
Yeah.
So
I want to figure out how to do 300 or 400 of these deals.
I'll show you how to do this. This is easy.
I can do these deals endless.
Imagine never having to get a credit check. Imagine never having to go to a bank. Imagine never having to worry about credentials or any of that stuff.
Bro.
Okay.
And then when they do the to call, what's the to call thing?
The due on sale clause.
The due on sale?
Due on sale.
Yeah, the due on sale, they're going to be like, we good with you, man.
Yeah, well, when
They're going to be happier with me than they were with the last guy.
It's not even that. There's a technical way to overcome the due on sale clause. I've never lost a home to the due on sale clause. We just overcome it.
You've never had to pay one off?
No.
Nobody's ever pressed you?
I've never heard one person in my life ever having to pay one off. I've heard 10 of them called due in my total existence in this game. People really, really experienced. My title company in Texas has done 10,000 of these transactions in one building. 35 years, 10,000 transactions. They've seen 10 called due, 0 had to get paid off.
Wow.
10,000. Okay, so it's incredibly, incredibly rare.
Yeah.
So here's the two places the deals come from. Sellers that are in foreclosures. Okay, this is happening all the time. Good market, bad market,
Sure.
whatever.
100.
Sellers that are unable to sell their house through a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Okay, so why wouldn't I just call the agent direct? Right? Let's say the agent throws it on the market. Most agents don't even know how to comp a property.
Right, that's right.
If I call the agent, I go, hey, if I can get your commission paid in the process, would your seller be willing to let me take over the payments? The agent goes, that's illegal. No, it's not. It's actually taught in your continued education classes. There's forms in all 50 states how to do these transactions. Grant, this is not just legal. This is taught in real estate.
Nobody really knows this. I mean, I'm sitting here, I didn't know it. I thought I knew a little something.
No, it's the most powerful tool in real estate.
Yeah.
So, and I went to a point about a year and a half ago, I said, I will not even look at a cash deal. If you come to me and say, I got to bring cash to the table, I'm not even going to look at it. To me, it's poisonous. Now, I'll bring money for CapEx and other things, but I'm not going to bring money to the table at close. I don't want to go and acquire debt. You've already. Yeah. Here's a better question. Why would I get a loan?
No, bro, look.
To pay
I
off
don't need to go get a loan.
loan.
I don't need to pay fees to the bank. I don't need to go through the time and the energy.
Right.
Like bank loans take forever. Now we got this regional bank problem. It's going to be like.
It's going to destroy.
I think we lose somewhere between 200 and 1,000 banks in this cycle.
How do you think that affects the total economy?
Well, it's going to be terrible for the small business owner, but it would be great for this opportunity because now you got fewer guys. Like these bank loans are going to be traded to other banks.
Right.
Like J.P. Morgan just adopted a bunch of Republic loans. Like this is going to. There's never in the history of banking have only 3 banks fail. In the mid 90s, it was 600-700 banks.
You know what's interesting about that? I know this is getting in the weeds, but they're transferring loans to another bank, right?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking when I said that. I'm like, that.
Okay,
how did they do that?
Those are called mortgage servicing rights. They're not owners of the property.
Right, that's right.
They just have the servicing rights to the debt.
Yeah, right.
And then the owner, whoever is living in the property, they're the ones that have the deed.
Yeah.
All this stuff is trading behind their back. They don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Don't they need their permission?
I get it. No, you're right, dude.
It's happening all the time.
I just had mind blow, bro.
Crazy.
Like, how many of these do you think we could do?
If
we wanted to do 100 of these a month.
100 a month is challenging because
just finding them.
Not finding them, the transaction coordination and onboarding and all that kind of stuff. That you agree with this, and I agree. You've said this 100 times. Single family requires a little bit more work on the front end.
Yeah.
Versus I go do a 50-unit multifamily.
But bro, why couldn't I do this in multifamily
you could
right now?
You could do it in multifamily, yeah.
Because if you can do it single.
Here's the challenge with multifamily.
Okay.
Challenge with multifamily when you get into acquiring other people's debt is that a lot of people in the multifamily space have toxic debt. Okay, in single family, it's 30-year fixed, 3%, 4%, 5%.
Wait a minute. Okay, so let's take a deal. Let's say the deal's they got $40 million worth of debt.
Yep.
And
most of them don't have fixed debt. I don't want to acquire something that doesn't have fixed.
Most of them don't have fixed debt.
They have short-term loans, right?
That's expiring.
It's expiring.
It might be in your face right now. Yeah.
Right. It's a ticking time bomb. I don't want that.
Yeah.
So this is why.
And then why would they walk away? Because they didn't put no money down. This they got a bunch of equity in this deal. They probably got a partner with $10 million.
So if you want to go after multifamily, what you do is you go after 50 unit to 250 unit.
Because it was built back in a.
You go after 50 to.
He's saying the size of the properties dates the property back to a time where they used to build 50 units. Almost nobody builds 50 units in the 21st century.
So you go after 50 to 150 units, somewhere in there, and you go to owners that have owned the property for 20 years. What does that mean? That means they paid the debt down.
Yeah,
2000. So you go to the seller directly and you go, hey, will you SellerFinance?
Yeah, but I mean, that's not that old properties.
No.
We're talking about 2002.
My oldest property that we have is 90s. No, I'm sorry. My oldest property is in the 70s. My youngest property is early.
Yeah, so 1990, 2000, all that would be a target.
Right.
Something that was traded back then, though. You got one owner or two owners over that period of time.
Yep, and they've sat on it. Most of a typical story. I'll give you a
probably
story.
paid off again. We're not talking about the mortgage issue.
Here you go. So the difference between SellerFinance and subject to.
Yeah. Okay,
they're both creative finance. I don't need credit checks. I don't need any of that for either one of them. Subject to means that I'm taking over an existing debt. Okay. It's like I go to somebody has a car payment and I go, hey, I'll just take over your car payments.
Right.
That's subject to.
Yeah. Is that legal?
Yeah, it's legal.
Okay.
Yeah. Go to leasetrader.com or go to like
damn, they're everywhere, man.
Yeah, taking little bombs.
These guys.
There's a website called like Vorlex Motors. You can just take over somebody's Rolls Royce Cullinan right now. You can take over somebody's payments right now.
Yeah, well,
think about all the
take over mine. Johnny, can you take over my payments? This is fucking awesome, dude.
Think about all the crypto people that got their asses handed to them the last 18 months that went out and bought cars.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And now they're like, what do I do with my payment? I can't afford this payment.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody like me could come along and go, let me just take over the payment, have the title and the rights come to me.
And the 30,000 they put down is gone.
Yeah, it's gone. You can do this. This is what's great about everything. All the assets that we own is this.
You're saying I got to go 20 or 30-year-old product.
Yep.
At least. Mm-hmm. Probably limit the size.
Yep.
I'm probably going to lose some location and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be getting the best stuff.
Right.
But I'm not putting any money down.
You're putting less. You'll be into the deal with like repairs, closing costs, all that kind of stuff. Less than 5%. So let's say it's a $10 million asset. You're putting maybe $50,000 to $150,000 into the deal.
Dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay up tonight, man.
Yeah. This is all I talk about.
So why don't we build a business out of this, man?
That's what I did, but I'd love to do more with you.
Let's do more together, man.
We've got between all of our stuff, we got about 1,800 doors.
1,800
doors, and I'm a small operator.
Yeah.
And we've got a great team. We operate this stuff. We've got traveling asset managers, and we do a good job. And all I'm doing is we'll continue to acquire single family because we've perfected that model. And now we're just going to start amplifying on the multifamily side.
Yeah.
And so your audience goes, wait, hold on. I don't have to go raise money for this. I don't have to go syndicate. I don't have to go put a fund together.
Well, but why not?
You can.
Because.
Is that your daughter?
Huh?
Is that your daughter?
No, this is a big real estate player. You probably recognize.
Oh,
his name.
yeah.
You know that name?
Uh-huh.
See, here's a guy. He's trying to build 500 units next to me. I got a deal with about 400 units in Boca. He took a Home Depot apart. You're going to see more and more of this. Home Depots,
storage.
Office buildings. Huh?
Is he converting into storage?
No, he's converting into multifamily and retail. He's going to take a third of the Home Depot out. He's
going to tear it out.
He's going to tear part of it out. I think for the parking. He's going to build a 500 unit deal there. I'm next door to him, so I have to approve it.
Wow.
So he's like, hey man, would you give us he's a big player. I mean, this is as big as it gets, right? And I said, yeah, man, I'm an easy guy to deal with, I said, you've heard of me, right? I'm Mr. Easy, Mr. 10X. I'm easy. I make it 10X easier for everybody. And then he sends me a bunch of paperwork. And I didn't read it, of course. And he's like, did you get to it? I said, no, man, I'm busy. I'm slammed. I said, but look, in the second call, I said, why would I do this? Like how my team's starting to be worried about this might negatively impact our property. So we're thinking there's a score here. And the reason I'm bringing that up is the value of owning a piece of real estate. Dude, I don't even care if it's great real estate. Any piece of real estate as an asset at some point in time could potentially have some kind of future value that we haven't figured on.
Is there anywhere else that anybody should be investing their money?
Unless you know how to do what Warren does.
I don't.
Or you're in Elon's pocket, But I don't have any of that. I mean, that's the beauty. You just want to talk about insider trading on Wall Street as opposed to being legal in real estate. It's not illegal. And you get Martha Stewart if you do it on the Wall Street. But in real estate, you and I can trade as much information about a deal as we want.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Without any...
No issues. Call each other, trade deals. Hey, this is what's going on with this guy.
This is what I paid.
Here's his fund. This guy's funding's coming from here. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, this is the problem with the deal. This is the problem with management.
In fact, it's all public data too.
Yeah.
A lot of it's public data.
They're getting ready to build next door to you. Like all that shit is legal in real estate.
I never thought about that. It's not. There's no insider trading in real estate.
No, bro.
Everybody's collaborating and doing deals with each other.
Exactly.
Wow.
Wall Street, you can't do that.
How do we go do 1,000 of these a month?
Well, dude, that's it. First thing I think about is where. Okay, what markets do I want to focus on?
Sunbelt, man.
Yeah.
Same place you're focused on.
But
multifamily.
I mean, but where's the pain? The pain is
foreclosure, expired listings. That's the pain.
Yeah. So, like to me now,
Easy.
this opens me up to the Midwest.
One market, okay?
Yeah.
It does open you to the Midwest.
Yeah, because now I'm like, shit, dude, I'm gonna go from putting, you know how much money I put down in deals? I put $1 billion in cash down.
Crazy.
This now takes me down to maybe I'm only putting
if you follow
$100 million.
If you follow the
buy.
people that do deals with me and you see them post and they're like YouTube videos and they're all the things, you're seeing 0 down deals, 0% interest. You know how many 0% interest deals I got? Directly to sellers. Going directly to a seller. Okay, I got a deal.
They just want a payment every month. They don't care if it's 0 or 5 or 10.
Nope.
I just want a payment.
Here's the first deal I ever did. 0 down, 0% interest. I had a wholesaler, kind of like Jamil, come to me and he goes, hey, I got a seller, wants to sell their property for $100,000. And I go, all right, gives me the address. I go, dude, this thing's retail is $100,000. I can't do shit with this thing at $100,000. But let me meet with the seller and let's structure a deal. And he goes, okay. So I go over and meet with the seller, Susan and Dale, and I'm in their carport in this little house. And I go, all right, so you want $100,000 because Zillow says $100,000, right?
Yeah.
Susan's like, yeah, that's exactly why.
Yeah.
I go, okay, well.
Now you already know they owe nothing. So you already know this is okay.
I already know this is a SellerFinance deal.
Got it.
So I go, you're probably getting offers of like 40, 50 grand, right? She's like, how? Yeah, how would you know? How'd you know? And I go, because if I was going to buy it cash, that's what I would buy it for too. She's like, well, what do you mean? You're not going to buy it? You won't give me a cash offer? I go, I'm giving you a terms offer, Susan. She goes, I don't know what terms are.
Yeah.
So I told her the story.
Let me tell you what the terms are.
No seller knows what terms are and what SellerFinance means, right? It just goes over their head. So I have to tell these sellers a story about an F-150. And this is what I tell them. I go, look, I used to have an F-150. This is what terms are. Susan.
You tell the same story every time.
My whole team, when I walk
you don't even change the model.
Nope, never. It's always the same because it's a real story.
Yeah, okay.
So here's the story. It's 45 seconds.
What if the guy's German? You don't change the analogy?
No, everybody knows what an F-150 is.
Okay.
Shit,
Okay.
It's the #1 selling truck. Ask Jared. He just got one.
Yeah.
So I go, all right, Susan, so here's what happens. I used to be a contractor. I had an F-150, hit 320,000 miles. It was time to get rid of the truck. So I go to the Zillow of cars, which is what? Kelley Blue Book.
Yeah.
And Kelley Blue Book says this truck's worth $5,000. I'm like, hell, I'm not going to sell this truck for $5,000. It makes more money in my construction company than that $5,000 is ever going to give me. So I go on Craigslist, Susan, and I list this thing for $10,000. Do you think I got $10,000? She's like, hell no, you didn't get $10,000. I go, this is what you're doing.
Right.
Your house is worth 40, and you want 100.
Yeah.
And she goes, so what'd you do? And I go, after 3 months of not selling the truck,
sold it for payments.
I changed my listing on Craigslist and I said, we'll take payments.
Yeah.
And she goes,
with a price or without a price?
Without a price.
Without a price.
I ended up selling that truck. How much do you think I sold it for?
Collected, I don't know, $12,000, $15,000.
I sold it for $12,500, $1,000 down.
Yeah.
I got $350 monthly payments from a little Hispanic family that needed to put into his own painting company. And after my interest payments over 3 years, I collected like $15,000.
Yeah. You became the bank.
I became the bank.
Yeah.
So Susan goes, damn, I'll do that. You'll pay me $100. I go, yeah.
Beautiful story, dude. I like the way you told your own person. Was it true?
It's very true, yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
So you figured out, basically what I think you did was you figured out what you wanted and then how to get that.
Right. So
as opposed to, or how to buy something.
Yeah.
and how to give them what they want. You know, I mean, you're really describing in a practical sense how time is money.
Right.
You're offering them the money they want.
Right.
As long as they give you the time you need.
That is exactly it. The payment that I need to cash flow immediately.
Right.
Cash flow's king, as your hat says. So I go to Susan. I go, so will you give me terms? She says, yeah, I'll give you terms.
Yeah.
I give her $110,000 on paper.
A premium.
Okay. Gave her $110,000. No money down. 0% interest. Okay. You can pull this up, public record. You just go see my promissory
Another
note.
beautiful thing about real estate.
Yeah, you can see it. All this is public record.
Yeah.
Okay. And she says,
So what was it, like 110 months for $1,000 or something?
20 years.
Okay.
No interest, $375 monthly payment. She had tenants already in the property paying $1,650 a month.
Oh my God, bro! Wow.
Right. Okay, but why did she do it?
Yeah, because she's done.
She's done. She wanted to go travel the country with her husband and travel around the country.
And not worry about the toilets.
Right.
And the termites.
And so this is how I figured out the $375 payment with her. I didn't pull out a spreadsheet. I said, how much does it cost you and your husband to travel around the country in the RV? She says, like $375 a month is what it costs us to rent an RV spot. I go, why don't I just give you a $375 payment every month? She's like, where do I sign? 0% interest.
Bro, you're
$0
cold
down.
killer, man.
This is all I do. This is all I do is creative finance. That's it.
How much free cash flow you got coming in right now?
300 grand.
A month?
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
How do we get that to $3 million?
Hang out with Grant Cardone and 10X.
No, I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
How do we get to $3 million a month? That'd change your life.
It would change your life.
Huh?
It would change your life.
Well, it would change your life.
It would change my
You
life.
getting $3 million doesn't change my life. It'd make me feel good for you, but
I'd get to hang out with you. I'd maybe have a jet next to yours.
yeah, $3 million a month. Will that do it? Yeah, probably would. I mean, you're going to spend 1 month on the jet just maintenance.
Yeah.
Just so you know. So that's before fuel. So 2 pilots, hangar, taxes, maintenance. You know,
This is why I haven't gone one yet.
A door costs, replace the door costs like 150 grand. Microwave oven, $45,000.
Ridiculous.
Insane, dude. Chip a fucking door,
300 grand.
scratch a leather seat, you know, $20,000. Fix the seat. It's ridiculous. Everything you've ever complained about, you'll complain about 50 times more. But, you know, guy asked me, he's like, hey man, what's your fuel cost? I said, it don't cost nothing. He's like, what do you mean? I said, the plane's no good without the fuel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't price everything.
Yeah.
And last thing on that is during COVID, we only flew it like 16 hours because you probably looked at it, right? How to do the math on it. If you don't fly 250 hours, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
The calculation of how much time, it's either worth it or it's not worth it. We flew it 16 hours the first year of COVID. Couldn't go anyplace.
Right.
Couldn't land anyplace. They wouldn't even let you land on the tarmac and get, hey, what's up? Nothing. So somebody said, well, how can you justify $3 million a year for 16 hours? I'm like, I still have my plane.
Right.
If I wanted to, go someplace. So
It's a different level.
yeah, totally. So, okay, so how do we do this, dude? How would we do this where, and we could do it for us and for our investors.
Right.
So other people benefit.
You put a fund
But
together.
why do we don't need investors, dude, if we don't need money?
You need capital for, let's say you buy a single family home. Okay.
Yeah,
This does happen. You buy a single family home. House hasn't been touched in 10 years.
Yeah.
You need
so
some
you need to
paint,
spend
some blah, blah,
50
blah.
grand.
Yeah. You need to spend, our average cost of acquisition, renovation, and getting it stabilized is 35 grand a single family.
So bro, why don't we create a fund?
We can do that.
We create a fund for this specific. I already have all the fund papers. I'm already approved. We create a fund for this. Maybe it's just our last fund's 150 million. Maybe we just make this a $50 million fund.
You make it a smaller fund. You go after single family stuff, and you go. You could buy these assets are everywhere. Everywhere.
And then, but why raise money again?
Well, you would raise money
Because
so you can buy them
it helps
faster.
other people.
Well, you get more people involved, and you also you can't go buy 100.
I need a management company. I need maintenance. We need,
Right.
Yeah.
Simple.
Does Ryan know about this?
Secco? No.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Jared does.
So we got to get a meeting on this, dude. This is real.
Let's do it.
I mean, I'll pop one of these out tomorrow.
Yeah. Let's do it.
you know, and it gives me the ability to go buy stuff. I can't right now, man. I can't I'm sitting on my hands right now.
It's a
I can't
stalemate
get
right now
anybody-
in the market.
It's a stalemate. Talk about it. What do you see as a stalemate?
All the multifamily stuff right now. It's like I know based on dinners that we've had and the intelligence and that your team has, there's a avalanche of shit coming down the hill, massive. But it's almost like nobody's talking about it. There was that big Houston deal where what did he lose? 3,200 units.
That was the Harbor. Yeah.
That was the beginning.
Yeah.
There's how many people you think? Thousands of people are going to.
Well, and that happened only because the seller just tapped out and said, "Hey, look,
he ran out of cash."
Well, he didn't just run out. He's looking at it saying, "There's no way out for me." He didn't have any money in the deal.
So he did it early.
He just looked at it and said, "Guys, there's no way I ever make money on this deal. I paid too much.
Yep.
I bought it at the wrong time. I can't get my rehab done. It's the wrong location. It's a shit product. Everything about it was shit."
Yeah.
So I think somebody else picked that up, though, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Like 70 cents on the dollar.
Yeah. Well, on the other dollars.
Yes.
So.
But the thing is, there's expiring debt coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Everybody's debt's maturing and coming due. You got people that got to buy down their cap. You got a whole bunch of crap coming up.
Yeah.
Insurance costs are rising.
Yeah.
Right.
That's pressure.
People have
cap rates are blowing
adjustable
off.
rates.
Yeah.
Are
Adjustables
popping
are popping.
So people's cash flow is dying.
Yeah.
And so they're sitting there going, "Man, I can't take care of my investors."
Yeah.
This is going to be a massive.
It's all headaches. Every week I got to call and say, "I can't pay you. I can't pay you."
You think these people are just going to go here, bank?
No.
Here you go.
No.
What do you think is going to happen?
No, because there's going to be too much money rush in from the sidelines. I'm sitting there dying.
So you think they're going to trade to you before they ever go to foreclosure?
I think they're going to trade to people like me. I don't think they go to foreclosure. They're too valuable. It's the cash flow. There's no place to get cash flow today. And I don't think there's a number of problems. First, the one problem we didn't predict was I can go get a treasury bill right now for 5%.
Right.
So I'm like, shit, man, I'm going to put my money, I can earn 5% without the risk. Now, it all comes with a tax consequence. No depreciation, no upside. So if the banks start falling off, and they already are, I mean, it's going to, you'll see more banks fail. Then people are going to be thinking like, okay, I don't know if I want my money at any bank.
Our CFO immediately called us up. Was like, "I think we got to spread our money around."
Yeah. Then you're going to go to JP or Bank of America, the top 5 banks. They're not paying anything on their deposits unless you have a bunch of money. I've had meetings with these guys. I know how much money you need there to get their attention. Like you need a big, big wedge. So where does the money go? But there's still a lot of people sitting with a bunch of cash waiting to get into these cash flow.
So you don't think these multifamily deals are going to go to foreclosure? You think people like you are going to see them before it ever gets to that point?
Or people like me, but there's so much of it, man.
Because I'm not in that game. I'm not in the A class game. The big stuff. That's not my game.
Yeah.
Right. So
well, it's not going to affect your game either because those guys are all paid for.
They're paid for,
and they're entry level.
Right.
They're affordable rents.
No, the big boys are not competing on any of those assets.
Yeah.
Right? You'd have to put a smaller fund together and focus on those smaller assets to even make it worth your time. So those big boys are not competing with me. I'm talking to these sellers, and it's almost like I'm the only one talking to these sellers. There's thousands of
you're
them.
the only one saying I can get you your number.
Right.
Everybody else is saying I can't pay that.
You're
That's
crazy.
ridiculous.
You're out of your mind.
Interest rates are going up too much, and you're like, yeah, let's just do the deal the way it sits. It'll be easier.
Why don't you and I just name the interest rate ourselves? You're the seller. Let's just give you. Why don't we set up an annuity for you? Get a monthly payment from me every single month.
Dude, that would open my market.
Text Ryan Secco and tell him we need to get a meeting together. That's the deal.
Call Ryan Secco. Call Ryan. No, I'm serious, bro. Like, I just want to add more assets. Like, if I can't add 300 or 400 at a time, then I'm going to have to go add what I can add.
Right.
Like, when you start talking about stuff in Hawaii, what markets do you like right now?
Arizona, Texas, Florida.
The
North Carolina, South Carolina.
Yeah. The usual suspects.
I love Atlanta. Love Atlanta.
So when you go into a new market, which one of those would be new for you?
North Carolina is my newest market.
Yeah. So you go in there. How do you do due diligence to say good location, rent you're supposed to be at?
We're looking at migration, number one.
Yeah.
We want to see rent. We want to see growth of people coming into the state, people having babies, all that kind of stuff. Then the second thing we want to do is we want to make sure first off, we choose the state based on landlord laws. Like I'm not going to Oregon.
Number
I'm not
one,
going to
so
Washington.
you're tenant
Always
friendly.
tenant friendly. I'm not going to waste my time anywhere else. I'm
Right.
sorry, guys. Like
You're not going to fight it.
Doesn't make any
California,
sense. Nope.
New York, New
Nope.
Jersey,
Nope.
Massachusetts,
Won't touch it.
Portland, Oregon,
Never.
never.
Why would I?
Yeah,
You know, and I had
Illinois,
I own in Illinois, but I own down in Springfield where the tenant laws are different than
Colorado?
They are. Yeah, I love
Maryland.
Colorado. Nope. Colorado's changing big time. I'm actually.
It's going to become unfriendly.
It's going to become unfriendly. There's big groups coming together, spending a lot of money trying to lobby for tenant rights. I've got 40 doors there that I'm like, all right, we might need to sell these doors and deploy that capital somewhere else.
Right.
So I just want to go landlord
Now,
friendly.
when you
first and
sell
foremost.
something,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
would you ever offer somebody seller financing?
Oh man, we could talk about this so long. The answer is no. In that situation, if I'm trying to deploy my capital, like take
Yeah,
my,
because you want to score. You want your
if
score.
I want my score and I want a 1031 into the next deal, the answer is no.
Yeah.
But if let's say I buy a deal, oh man, I bought some amazing deals, Grant, where I've taken over somebody else's existing debt at like 50 grand.
Yeah.
And I've sold it on SellerFinance at 200, and I keep the existing debt of 50 in place. So think about that. I took over somebody else's house, subject to. So they had a bank loan with, let's say, Zion's Bank, 50 grand.
You cannot tell me what you're about to tell me.
Yes. And I then create a second note for $150,000.
With who?
The new borrower, the buyer, and I'm the bank.
Oh my God! So you just held the 50,
Held the 50 in first position.
took a side note for 150.
I created the second note. It's in my company's name.
You become the bank there.
And I become the bank. And I seller finance it to somebody who I call them penalty box buyers. Okay, so who's a penalty box buyer? Entrepreneurs. How many entrepreneurs you know can't get a loan? Come to me, I'll give you a loan.
Yeah.
I'll give you a loan. I'm Bank of Pace. I control the debt.
Yeah.
That's all I do. I'm in the business of controlling debt.
Bro.
We call that selling on a wrap. So it happens in Texas a lot.
Bro.
We did it. We just drove through your hometown.
I feel like I'm doing something
in
wrong right
Louisiana.
now.
Bought
I actually
100.
feel like I'm committing a crime or a witness to one right now.
Oh yeah, it's
good.
criminal. It's criminal not to know how to do.
No,
this.
look. I've had people talk to me about Airbnb. We finished the interview, and I'm like, that's some bullshit right there, bro.
I'm not a big Airbnb fan.
No, I never was. I mean, I even had a guy in here. I'm like, man, I'm telling you, there's something wrong with this shit. Okay. What else have we heard here? I mean, a lot of shit in here. Okay. But I mean, just a lot, right? And I always walk around. I'm like, I don't get that. I don't know about that. A lot of e-commerce stuff online, drop shipping stuff. You know, all the stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah, waste of time.
And I'm like, I don't know, the Bitcoin, the cryptos, the NFTs, and I'm like, yeah, it might happen, but this, what you're saying?
You should get me, Ryan, and you on a Zoom,
Yeah.
and I'll show you addresses where I've taken first lien.
Tell me about that deal in Hawaii.
There was a seller who was going through a divorce. She has 2 acres right on the beach. She has a main house and a guest house. The guest house is already rented out. And she actually came, we saw her on the divorce list. It's public data.
Yeah.
Right? You guys are going after a different list. We're going after a list of like divorce, bankruptcy, probate, foreclosure, blah,
Your
blah,
people are easier to deal with than mine.
Right. So we call her. She's going through divorce. She says, I can't keep up the payments. She wasn't behind. She goes, if you can just give me 30 grand, I'll walk away from the you can take over my debt. 2%, sub 2. Sub 2 just means I took over her existing debt.
The loan was at 2 for how long? 30 years?
30 years, yeah. I just closed on it 3 days ago.
And you want the property? You like the property?
Yeah, I like the property. Ironically, that'll end up being an Airbnb.
Right.
But I don't do.
Right,
probably
right. Well,
5%.
I don't mind Airbnb and something. I mind.
Look, top email in my inbox. Right there.
Yeah.
Closing docs. That's the title company. There's the address right there.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, 2%. If you pull up the closing docs, if there's a document in there,
Shelly.
Yeah. Shelly's my transaction coordinator.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, damn, man.
2%.
So you're on that deal. You're going to Airbnb rent it. You're not the arbitrage on the Airbnb.
I don't believe in arbitrage.
Yeah, good.
What,
So
what
you-
the hell are you arbitraging for? Just be a better negotiator. The
Yeah.
people that are arbitraging are going to landlords and saying, hey, can I landlord your landlord?
Yeah, exactly.
I go to the landlord, I go, you be the bank, seller finance it to me,
Yeah.
give
Well,
me the deed,
Yeah.
and I get
You
the
want to own the property.
I want the appreciation, the depreciation, the
Yeah.
cash flow, I want the upside, I
Yeah.
want the mortgage pay down,
Yeah.
I want all the things.
Yeah.
Arbitrage people don't get any of that shit.
Bro, you're making me sick right now.
Yeah.
I'm having to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to buy real estate.
Let's go. Get me, you, and Ryan on a Zoom next week.
Can we scale though?
Yeah. Think about this. In Maricopa County, where I live, and you guys just got a new office.
Yeah, you like that location?
Oh, it's phenomenal.
How good?
It's so
Is
good.
it better than where Brandon's over
Brandon's little pocket right there is
Yeah.
really magical.
Yeah.
But where you guys are on your new building it's prime.
Yeah.
It's A++.
there? Yeah.
So dude, you're right there by Scottsdale Air Park. Like
Yeah.
that's all the
Yeah.
jets flying right
Is that
over
where
you.
you're flying to?
Yeah. So the Maricopa County last 30 days, 1,000 houses were not able to sell on the traditional market, and they went expired. So there's 1,000 homeowners that are like, I tried to sell my house. Those 1,000, that's every 30 days. There's 1,000 deals that went off market that the sellers are like, I couldn't sell the house.
Yeah.
Agent couldn't sell the house. We call it the seller direct, and we go, you want $15,000? I'll just take over your payments. You want $5,000? I'll take over your payments. 4101.
And then what is your biggest response to that? Can you do that? Is that legal? Is that a big question?
No. You think about this. If a seller tried to sell a house for 6 months, I'll give you a really good story.
No, but when you call them and say, hey, how much money you need, and I'll take over
I
your
don't
note.
even say how much money you need.
So how do you...
I say, hey, the script for our team is, hey, we noticed your house went off market. What was your agent not able to get you that you were looking for? Opened up the floodgates. Oh, my effing agent this.
they're all terrible, right?
We've now created a common enemy.
Right.
Sales strategy, right? And we go, well, would you be open to us just taking over the payments and maybe putting a little money in your pocket? And the seller's response is, you would do that?
Yeah. They don't ask, can you do that?
No, they say, you would do that? Some of them ask, can you do that? How does that work? And then I go, here's a YouTube video I made that shows on a whiteboard exactly how it works. My closing attorney is in there from Texas. My closing attorney from Arizona is in there. A guy who helped write the Dodd-Frank Act is in one of my videos. And he's like, this is how it technically, mechanically works, and it's all legal in all 50 states.
Man, if you guys like this, what's your biggest takeaway? Down below, give it a thumbs up. That helps. Give it a thumbs down. I love those. They inspire me. You guys that hate on me. But hate on me, don't hate on him, okay? He's sensitive. Thank you guys for watching. Be great. Hey, man, love that. It was awesome, bro.